to entice airlines into the state of Nevada and stay in the state of Nevada with their flight schedule, with the ultimate outcome of getting us a flight to Reno and a flight to Las Vegas.
Wow, that's great. And again, that's a process, like you said, it's been a dozen years or so in the works. At one point, we had interstate air travel between some of these smaller airports, including Ely, but people tend to forget we had federal subsidies then. We had a very powerful senator, hence why we have an international airport in Nevada named for Harry Reid. He was able to secure some of that national funding that we needed for our connectivity at the time. Mm-hmm. So that was a long time ago. That was before you, I think, Jim.
Yeah, a little bit before my time, but I've also been around for a long time as well. But yeah, we had that connectivity within the state, and there were different programs that were available at the time. And one of those programs was the Essential Air Service. Now, it's still available, but Elko no longer qualifies for it.
Because we do have the Skywest that we have.
Yes, because we have our current air service that we have disqualifies us for that.
Okay. Well, great that we have you on the case, on the job, Jim. Thank you so much. Thank you for that fantastic news. And we'll look forward to what comes out of the legislative session with AB 100. I'm sure our local lawmaker, Assemblymember Burt Gurr, is hot on the trail.
He is the sponsor of that,
Yay.
So that's even better for our community.
Yeah, certainly is. Okay, Jim, I'll let you take a rest because I know Jan's got a lot to update us on as well. Jim Foster is our Elko Regional Airport Manager. And Jan, you have to be pretty proud of all the efforts that have gone in. I know that you're also a member of and help facilitate FAN.
Yes, absolutely. So it's a great partnership, and it's not, just a partnership, but we have a lot of entities that are participating with FAN, and obviously the airport manager with the city of Elko, and then we also have board members from the county, and then Lander County is participating as well. And we have had a couple of private companies that have become members, but we will start doing more of a drive for the private companies because really the object behind FAN is to have a public-private relationship. It's a nonprofit to bring them together and support the commercial air service in our area. And it's in our entire catchment area, which includes, surrounding counties as well.
Eureka, Lander, obviously Ely has an airport, Humboldt County has an airport, Winnemucca area, but we could all use that connectivity. So
absolutely, yeah, it's really important for all of us. And anyway, so, and I want to add that it's our opinion anyway, and also the opinion of an air development company that we use, that the existence of FAN was definitely key in getting this SCASD grant, which is the Small Community Air Service Development Grant, that brought us the midday flight. And one of the items that I don't know if they required it or it was strongly encouraged on the grant, but was that there was a public-private organization that supported commercial air service. And so having FAN in place, I think, really made sure that we were able to secure that. And I am very sorry, I just want to make sure, did you mention that it was 4 days a week, the midday flight? And so it's only 4 days a week. Yeah, so
I think I just said it was a reduced schedule. I didn't give the days of the week.
That's okay. But 4 days is still better than what? And so, do we know? Is it a consistent 4 days? Or
yes. So it starts March 8th, which I believe is a Thursday of May 8th. Oh dear, that would have started a terrible rumor. I would have been in big trouble. Starts May 8th, which I believe is a Thursday, and so the flights are on Sunday, Monday, Thursday and Friday, which are our busiest flight days of the week. And so it'll consistently be those 4 days of the week. With the grant, we couldn't afford to load it for 7 days, but we chose to, with the help, of course, of Skywest, to load the 4 busiest days.
The 4 busiest days, that makes sense. That includes your weekend and some business overlap travel as well. So great news.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly. So anyway, we're super
update there. And thank you, Jan Baum, our Elko City Manager, for the update there. And then thank you, Jan Baum, our Elko City Manager, for the update there. And then rolling into this is important, but advisory, that's at 3, and that's important. It is important, but advisory, that's at 3, and that's important. It is important, but that's all right.
I apologize.
Just to give a shout out to that, it's very important. That's all. Right.
I apologize.
Just to give a shout out to that, it's very important.
It is.
Yes.
Stormwater is a big deal.
Yes. 3:30 this afternoon at City Hall, the Elko Redevelopment Agency, some exciting things on the horizon. And every time I meet with Billy from the Chamber, she's just got such great ideas, her staff, and working really hard to continue all of the great efforts of redevelopment downtown where the DBA left off.
Absolutely. I know. I think that it'll be a good partnership. Not that we didn't have a good partnership.
Well, they'll be talking about the infrastructure grants. It looks well, they'll be talking about the infrastructure grants. There is a second cycle application that's in the hopper. And then this funding request from Arts and Culture Advisory. We're starting to see a 2026 Sester Centennial Art Project shaping up.
Absolutely. And it looks like that it will be on the block end, rather, a little smaller scale than they were thinking at the beginning. And I think it'll be a fun project.
It'd be the block end on the east side of 6th Street. So
right. So
it would be the block end on the east side of 6th Street. So
right. So it'll be great, and it'll be perfect timing with the sidewalk project that we're about to put out to bid, and getting all that done. And so that whole corridor and the sidewalks on between 4th and 6th, it'll just look great.
Yeah, all the construction misery that we're going to go through, I just want to keep reminding people it will be worth it, and it will be a distant memory, hopefully by this time next year.
I hope so too, Lori, and I believe that back then I believe that back then we I believe that back then we shared the cost with the DM to harm the trees by getting too tight, and so to harm the trees by getting too tight. And so here for manager. Anyway, she has a proposal here for manager. Anyway, she has a proposal here for so hopefully we can do that, and I believe that the chamber, which to do that, and I believe that the chamber, which took over the DBA, is willing to absolutely
a lot of support,
and they're lit up all through the winter. I absolutely
a lot of support,
and they're lit up all through the winter. I believe
the regular council.
Sure.
Very nice. Mm-hmm. So unless there's anything else, we'll move on to the regular council. Sure. Very nice. Mm-hmm. So unless there's anything else, we'll move on to the regular council
Sure.
agenda. Mm-hmm. And there are particular on there some bittersweet things. I know one a compensation study, and that dealt with a classification and compensation study, and that does include updating some positions within the city police department.
Absolutely. So Susie Schertz, who's our HR manager, director, she's been once we got done with the class comp study, involved in that class comp study was revising and all of our salary and confidential job descriptions. And so she's been bringing groups of them to the meetings and as we go along. And so this meeting is the police department. And so not big changes, but for sure making sure that they are in more alignment with really what the positions are performing.
And Jen, it's important that we do these studies because it's really an effort to retain and support.
We want to, we appreciate them so much, and absolutely, we appreciate them so much, and really the city is so dependent on their managers, and we have a hard working bunch, and we want to make sure that their job descriptions reflect what they really are accomplishing.
Yeah, and the reality is anybody who employs people in the Elko area, there's a lot of demand in really high-paying jobs in the mining industry, and so it's important that Elko steps up as well if we want to retain good quality folks. Mm-hmm. All right, so moving on to, there'll be a presentation,
a proclamation.
Yeah, proclamation honoring Jeff Remington. What a guy, what a family. Yes.
Absolutely. So, he gave a lot to our community, and everybody knows about the car show and the hot rods, and definitely want to recognize his contribution to our community, and I believe that he'll have some family members there, and so it'll be nice for the mayor to do that.
Yeah, and that will be, our thoughts are with, obviously, Stormy and their children. And just thank you, for everybody who will now step in and continue his legacy, because John will get an update.
We're thankful for her as well.
So moving on, we'll get an update.
We're thankful for her. The indoor facility with that grant are an indoor pool or indoor skating rink. So, ice skating. So, it makes the most sense to keep it as a pool, and then if council agrees, then we can go down that process and start the process of getting that lease together.
Wow, that'll be a really nice complex. Yeah,
right. It'll have two good bookends.
Yeah.
That's what Scott Wilkinson calls them, and it does make sense. So, we'll see how that works out.
Really nice. Well, thanks, Jan. So looking forward to Rusty Bar's update. That'll be on the Recreation Center. Again, indoor, outdoor pool facilities, as well as there'll be a smaller size gym. There'll be community meeting rooms, places for Boys and Girls Clubs activities to continue. Just a lot of different uses, and all based on what the community indicated that they needed.
Absolutely. And a space for our teens as well, which I think is really important. And I think it'll be a great facility. I'm excited for it to open.
So that all comes during this afternoon's regular council meeting, 4 o'clock today. Among the top items on the agenda will be updates on the Boys and Girls Club Recreation Center. And then looking ahead to under personnel, we mentioned the police department. I guess our police chief is looking forward to retirement.
He is. We might not be, but he is. So I'm really happy for him. Like you said, this is a bittersweet item on the agenda today.
So Police Chief Ty Troughton, along with our Sheriff Aitor Narvaeza, will be our guest on Elko Live on Thursday, and I'll let the chief talk more about that. He's written a really nice letter of resignation dated February 20th. It will be presented formally during the council meeting to the mayor and council members today, and obviously that leaves an opening. And so the last time the police or the city went out to bring someone in, and that was when we had Chief Ben Reed, and he made a lot of changes. And I think hearing from most of the community, those were changes that were needed. And there's another opportunity, whether to promote from within or to start an outside hiring.
Absolutely. And so we aren't bringing that decision to the council this meeting. They're just going to, I would assume they're going to accept the retirement letter, but I guess that's up to them. And then next meeting, I'm hoping that with personnel, we can bring forward a recommendation, or the council can make a decision on how they want to do that, whether they just want to go forward with an appointment or if they want to go out to recruitment.
And thanks for reminding me, this is not immediate. He's retiring in July 11th of this year.
July 11th.
Okay.
Exactly. So it gives us some time if we do go through recruitment. And even if we do appointment, some of that takes some time. And so we'll see how that goes.
All right, so that's on the agenda when the council meets in regular session at 4 o'clock today. We're talking with our city manager, Jan Baum, making sure I had a few things highlighted. Please jump in with what's,
There's an item that I did want to bring to the attention is Dale Johnson is going to give a quick information-only presentation on the water modernization project, which is the implementation of the water meters. And so we're going to start rolling those out in March. And I believe the first neighborhood that will be done will be Sundance, the Sundance area. They're actually not in the city, but they do have city water. And so we will start with that area. There are a lot of homes north of I-80. And he'll be showing kind of a heat map per se of how that'll be rolled out. But we'll start with Sundance, and then we'll just kind of move east from there. And so they will be doing the homes that already have meter pits. I don't know if most people know if they have a meter pit or not, but we're going to start with the homes that already have meter pits and get the meters in. And but anyway, so that is going to begin. There'll be door hangers in advance, anywhere from 2 days to a week before the work starts. But so people can prepare and, all the safety measures, get your dog inside or, just some different things like that. And all of the water employees and the water employees are going to do this portion of the water meter installs. And so they'll obviously have on City of Elko shirts, and they'll have City of Elko IDs and vehicles. And so it'll be very well marked. So don't let any other people in your house or anything like that. But anyway, so we're going to start rolling that out, and we just want the public to be aware that that's going to begin.
All right, Jan. And so it sounds like did the money get released at the federal level for it? Or
well, so that was done. So we were granted those funds back in October or November, and we've been visiting with the state. There is a small portion of the 14.5 million. There's 1.5 million that will be forgiven. We won't have to pay that portion back, but this is a loan. The 14.5 million is a loan that we'll be paying back to the state at a 1% interest rate. And we've been visiting with Jason Cooper at the state level, and he has assured us that we can continue to go forward and we will get reimbursed.
Oh, good. Yeah, because this has been in the works for some time. So
yeah, so really we've had the funds for, the bond has been approved or whatever for about 6 months. So we really do need to get going.
All right, Jan, thank you. That is good news, and that will all be discussed during this afternoon's regular council meeting. And just wanted to remind folks, if you're trying to divide your time, there is another meeting that starts, the Mormon Cricket meeting. Is that the one? Yep. It starts at 4:30. Mormon Crickets and Grasshoppers. That will be at 4:30, and that's in the County Commission meeting room. Nevada Department of Agriculture will be conducting that meeting, and I'm sure lots of people will be there. And Jim, I could just ask you, because whether or not people realize it, I mean, this can be a problem at airports, right, with these pests.
So, excuse me, the last couple of years, we've been very fortunate that the Mormon crickets haven't gotten to the airport, but we do battle grasshoppers. And so for the past 2 years, every spring time period, we have to go out and do something about the grasshopper population, because it's not just the grasshoppers, it invites in birds and other predatory animals to come in. And birds and airplanes don't get along very well. So we spent quite a bit of time out on the facility taking care of those problems, to take care of the pest problems in order to avoid potentially larger problems.
Well, thanks, Jim, for the update. And again, just reminding people why it's important that, we have government that gets involved in these things, and especially at this kind of a large scale. So, and it's anyone's guess what kind of a grasshopper or Mormon cricket year we can have. That's why we hope to hear from our scientists today at 4:30 this afternoon at the County Commission meeting. Is there anything else on your agenda, Jan? You're doing the same thing I'm doing, is like multitasking today.
I know, you reminded me. I'm like, I forgot to ask somebody to attend that meeting. So, because we definitely need participation in that meeting.
I'm thinking
we're going to have a nice update from Ramon Dionisio. He's our new code enforcement person.
That's
and he
a
does
great
a great
presentation.
Job.
Yeah.
Yes, he does a great job. Very professional young man, and we're just really happy to have him. And so it'll be nice to have his update to council. So that'll be good.
It's always nice to focus on when things go well and progress is made, and when someone's had a complaint and it's been resolved. And Ramon's presentation is full of pictures of before and after, and shows how responsive the city has been to some of these complaints. And then I think it does a really good job of describing of which section of the code that it falls under. So it's really educational. Yeah,
absolutely right. And he's just doing a great job. And if people have complaints, you can always call the city at 775-777-7100 is the the main number, and you can ask for code enforcement. And then I believe there's also a link on the website and that you can go to and also put in a complaint or a concern. It doesn't have to necessarily be called a complaint, but and Ramon will definitely look into it.
That's great, Jen. Thank you. Appreciate the update. Thank you for bringing Jim Foster in today. Jim, as always, a great visit with you.
Thanks, Lori.
And absolutely. I was thrilled he would join.
Yes.
With his amazing news.
Yes, great news. Again, midday flights returning. Just to remind, May 8th, Skywest connection to Salt Lake City. The flight will be incoming at 11:15 and then load right up and head out at 12:10. Make your reservations now, delta.com or the Skywest connection. That midday service begins on May 8th. So let's load up those airplanes. Thank you, listeners, and thank you for joining us for Elko Live today.